and welcome to my channel on personal growth. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kate. I'm an integrative relational psychotherapist, a life coach, a yoga instructor, and an author. You can find my books on Amazon, and if you would like to schedule an individual online coaching or therapy session with me, you can find my contact information on my webpage, which is also mentioned in the description box below this video. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that is not exactly controversial, but it definitely is a subject to many erroneous interpretations or even misinterpretations. I will be talking about mirroring, not the kind of mirroring we should all have received when we were toddlers, mirroring provided by our parents who were regulating our affect and our cognition. Now, what I'm talking about is the mirroring we receive as adults and who serves as a mirror in our lives. Well, all of the relationships we engage in, people we interact with. And up until here, I agree with the general opinion that people do reflect back something that is either in us, but is not necessarily our characteristics, or, and here is where my interpretation differs, something that we don't like or disagree with. For example, if we like kind, successful, confident, beautiful people, for example, then yes, it could be that they are mirroring those qualities that we have as well, and that they are mirroring the qualities we admire, and therefore we feel comfortable engaging with people like that. It could also be that these people are just reflecting something that we would like to be. If we are not yet kind or successful or confident or whatever have you, then these people are reminding us of what we could be if XYZ happened. I agree with this positive mirroring theory or concept, however you want to call it. But when it comes to the negative mirroring, the mirroring of negative qualities and characteristics, here is where my interpretation of this theory is starkly different from the predominant one. Let me give you a very tangible example so that I can make things a bit more clear. I personally hate violence in all of its forms and shapes. So I try to avoid violent people. I don't like violent people. Does that mean that these violent people are just mirroring something that is inside of me? Are they mirroring a characteristics of mine that I refuse to acknowledge or am ashamed of or am expressing and feeling guilty about it? No, it just means that I don't like violence, I don't like violent people, and it has nothing to do with who I am as a person. It could be, and it often is though, that when we dislike a characteristic, especially a negative one, in somebody else, it means that we have had an experience dealing with such a characteristics and we have not successfully resolved it. If I go back to the example of violence, let's say that I was a victim of violence, then it is understandable that I won't like violence and that I won't like violent people. But it doesn't mean that I am a violent person. It just means that because of my very negative experience with violence that I still hadn't processed or dealt with appropriately, it triggers something in me. So this negative mirroring has nothing to do with my personality, it has nothing to do with who I am or how I behave, but it has a lot to do with my past baggage. So the mirroring in this context could be perceived as the mirroring of a characteristics or a negative quality that I need to learn how to deal with or cope with or resolve. So if I had been a victim of violence, then I should probably process that traumatic experience, and until I do that, every violent person, regardless of the extent and the degree of violence, will trigger this very negative emotional reaction to violence in me. So I'm just giving you two possibilities. Either I outright hate violent people and I hate violence, and it has nothing to do with me or my past experience, or it could be, which is most frequently the case when dealing with such emotions, that because of a past negative experience with, in this case, violence, I still don't like violent people, and I most certainly don't express violence. So whenever you hear people saying that what you hate in other people is in fact a part of yourself that you hate, I would suggest you reflect strongly and deeply whether you dislike that characteristics because it reminds you of who you are and you don't want to be like that, or because you outright don't like it. That would be my food for thought for this video. If you like the video, if you think this topic could help somebody else, do click like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you want to be informed of the next video that I publish. I'm wishing you all a very wonderful day, and once again, if you would like to schedule a session with me, don't hesitate and contact me. Talk to you soon, and bye-bye.